Introducing the all-new Italiano range of pizza. Pizza Ultimo. Pizza Hut.
2 youths were killed in an accident which occurred last night in Dansalwata along the Nittembo-Mirigama road. The 2 victims were cousins.
A party had been held last night at the residence of one of the victims, Chanaka Sandamal. His cousin Madhushanka Udayakumara was also a guest at this party. The two had borrowed a relative's motorcycle to travel to Pasiala to procure some goods for the house. However, tragedy struck when the motorcycle the youths were riding collided with a parked lorry in Dansalwata along the Pasiala-Mirigama main road. Madhushanka Udayakumara, who was the pillion rider on the motorcycle, was killed on the spot. The police say that Chanaka Sandamal, who was critically injured in the accident, succumbed to his injuries in hospital.
They went to pick up a friend on another person's motorcycle. They had taken the key and had not informed the child either. No one knows how the accident occurred. It is probably only the two of them who know. He went for a party at his younger cousin's house. He said his cousin was calling him every day, asking him to come for the party. At about 10:30 at night, we got a call saying they had met with an accident. At 12 o'clock that night, we left home.
18-year-old Chanaka Sandamal, who was killed in the accident, is a resident of Kalelia. 20-year-old Madhushanka Udayakumara was a resident of Panugalgoda in Gaul. The Nittembo police are conducting further investigations and the driver of the lorry has been arrested. The driver of the lorry was remanded until tomorrow, subsequent to being produced before the Athanagalla magistrate this afternoon.
News First You reporter Ganeshan Krishantan from Kottagala filed this report on an accident that occurred this morning in Amagamua.
A woman was run over by a SLTB bus plying from Navalapitiya to Hatton this morning in Ambagamua in the Ginigathena police division. The woman who was injured in the accident was admitted to the Navalapitiya hospital where she succumbed to her injuries.
News First You reporter Ganeshan Krishantan.
Reports have been received from various parts of the island in the recent past on crocodile attacks on humans. News First provincial correspondent in the Ambalantata district, Rahul Samantha, filed this report on another location which is now at the risk of crocodile attacks.
News First provincial correspondent in Ambalantata, Rahul Samantha, recently captured this footage on his camera. These reptilians have become a common sight as of recently for people living on the banks of the Walave River. They say that there has been a spike in the crocodile population from the mouth of the Walave River in Ambalantata to about 2 kilometers inland. We met an individual who has prior experience with these reptiles. No one can use the waters of the river now. Even animals cannot drink water from the river. The river used to be only a few feet deep at this location, but due to sand mining, the depth of the river has now increased to about 20 feet in some areas. Now the crocodiles have the ability to hide in the river and to drag their prey underwater. About 20 to 25 years ago, there were crocodiles in the river, but people were able to bathe in the river and drink water from it. But now the population has spiked. The population can be controlled if some of the bigger reptiles are relocated to a reserve. These are some of the experiences of the villagers in the area. Recently, a child jumped into the river to swim, but shortly after he jumped, he was dragged underwater by a crocodile. Divers went in search of him, but there was no trace. They have started coming onto the banks. We cannot go get some water to use for our plants. They even grab hold of the dogs. The pier is dilapidated now. Thousands of people used to bathe near this pier. Our water bills run into thousands of rupees per month now because we are no longer able to use the waters of the river due to the crocodile menace. The Vrangiri Vihara in Ambalantata is also facing problems due to the threat of crocodile attacks. We use the water from the river to fill this tank for the needs of the temple. Pilgrims who come this way also reside here for a short while. They too are facing problems because of the issue with securing water from the river. The people living on the banks of the Walave River are now living under a constant cloud of terror, never knowing when the river's crocodiles will claim another human life.
Up next is Crime Watch.
A man was sacked to death in Kuttigala, Padalangala last night. The police say that the man succumbed to his injuries while receiving treatment at the Chandrika Vava Rural Hospital in Padalangala. The victim has been identified as 39-year-old T.D. Pushpakumara, a father of one who was a resident of Kuttigala. A male corpse was found this morning floating on the surface of a waterway flowing to the Walgam Vava in Dambulla. The police say that the body had been identified as that of 43-year-old J.G. Ranasinghe, a father of two, who was a resident of Lenadura. He travels around a lot, so we did not go in search of him. He is not a person who would do anything wrong. He is a mental patient, but he would not do any wrong. He is a good swimmer as well. I don't know how this could have happened. Following the magisterial inquest conducted by the acting magistrate of Dambulla, the body was removed for examination by the judicial medical officer.
Welcome back to the news. 96.6 Legends took the Sri Lankan airwaves by storm this evening. The channel will operate under the tagline, "The music lives on."
The radio channel was launched at the auspicious time of 7:01 p.m. today. 96.6 Legends, the adult hit radio station, will play the unforgettable hits from the 60s, 70s, the classic 80s and the best of 90s. In the channel's test broadcast on the 8th of this month, radio listeners have started to take notice of the latest addition to the radio industry and continues to get reviews from its newfound listeners by the minutes.
An old station that's playing the songs in a new way. It's a dynamic station. We don't play, we play the oldies, but we don't present it in an old way, not old school. So what we do is we have DJs who are, bubbly and dynamic, and DJs who are into music also. So this will be different in terms of having a station that is dynamic and would entertain the listeners.
Also in local news, a public rally organized by the Democratic Party was held in the Solevava Giribava in Galgamu today.
A large crowd attended this rally, which was held under the patronage of the leader of the Democratic Party, Sarath Fonseca. Every year, 350,000 students are enrolled in schools. However, only 20,000 students have the facilities to continue with higher education at our universities. So the balance 330,000 students spill over on the streets. They are unemployed. They have no higher education. Sri Lanka is the only country in the world where students cannot enter university after passing their A-levels. The wonder of Asia. Even in Bangladesh, students who pass the advanced level can enter university on the government's expense. Because they cannot spare their expense in our country, they are creating a system in our country where the children of the wealthy can go to university even if they score low marks.
Parliamentarian Arjuna Ranatunga expressed views on the country's expenditure at an event held in Paragala today.
We are not living in the best of times. The wave of crimes has increased significantly over the recent past. Today money is being allocated unnecessarily. Today there are discussions regarding the electricity tariff. However, recently we saw the manner in which electricity was extensively used to stage car races in Colombo and Kandy. This is a waste of money. At a time when money is being allocated unnecessarily for such programs, why not allocate money for the development of religious education? I don't think there is anything more important than the upliftment of education in the country.
මුදල් වියදම් කරනවා නම් මම හිතනවා මීට වඩා ලොකු අවශ්‍යතාවයක් අපේ රටට අද වෙනකොට වෙනස් දෙයක් නැහැ කියලා.
Parliamentarian Arjuna Ranatunga made this comment during a brief visit to the Embaravilla Sri Anandagiri Vihara today.
Two human skeletons have been found on the peak of the Yakdesagala mountain in Kurunegala. The skeletons were discovered last afternoon following a tip-off made to the police.
Officers of the Kurunegala police discovered these skeletons at around 1 o'clock last afternoon. Our correspondent in the area said that the acting magistrate of Kurunegala, Anoma Jayawardena, examined the bones. The police say that they also recovered a travel bag and the national identity cards of 2 persons at the location. According to the NICs, the skeletons belong to 27-year-old K.D. Chamara, a resident of Arlagan Villapuram Narwa, and 19-year-old Dilhani Kusumlata, a resident of Thalavita Kurunagala. The police say that information has come to light that the two are related. The Kurunagala police are conducting further investigations. The skeletons have been taken to the mortuary of the Kurunagala Teaching Hospital.
9 people who participated in a meeting in Mannar last night were arrested by the police. Police media spokesperson SP Puthika Sirivardhana said the 9 were arrested in connection with the poster that had been displayed at this meeting. The police media spokesperson said the suspects were released on police bail after interrogation. Meanwhile, when News First made inquiries, former parliamentarian and General Secretary of the Tamil National People's Front S. Gajendran said 9 people, including himself, were arrested last night. Gajendran added that among those arrested were 5 party members and 4 people who had attended the meeting in Mannar last night. Two individuals were killed in a road accident near the Malimbalivya junction in Ottamavadi, Batiklo. The accident was a result of a collision involving a bike and a lorry. The victims were travelling on the motorbike at the time of the accident. The victims were identified as a 24-year-old and a 32-year-old. Up next is Flashback.
Farmers in Nuwara face a myriad of problems after planting substandard seed potatoes. About 10% of the crops planted in Sitaelia Meepilimana in Nuwara have gone rotten. Authorities are yet to turn their attention towards this crisis. When will agricultural authorities address this issue?